So, previously I made a character controller for my adventure game, and now I have to add the environment right after I learn how to even add that environment. Starting this project, I underestimated the amount of work that goes into making these things, and my environment went through a number of phases. The first of this environment creation process involved me getting to know the Unity terrain system. Luckily, we have Brackies providing great tutorials as always, so that was easy enough. I kind of turned into Mother Nature, creating mountains and stuff, but in this case, Mother Nature, because, I'm a guy. At first, I thought this was all going to be easy using free assets, models, and, just easy overall. But to get what I actually wanted or what I pictured in my head, I had to model everything from scratch. I had to get back into Blender and model the things myself. The sheer amount of pain I went through trying to get something decent, and it didn't even turn out like I wanted. But I got something I could work with. I added everything to the scene in Unity, and here's how the scene looked in the early stages. I wanted to add some vegetation as well, but that looked kind of weird, I think. I added stairs so that I can get on top of buildings and other stuff like that. Now, in this phase, this is when the indecisive me woke up and I couldn't decide on what to best. I tried to texture the building using Substance Painter. Oh boy, I'm never doing that again. I know it's an easy enough software to learn, but I lacked the patience and I didn't have the time to learn masking materials, whatever they're called. Just after saying that, I now realized that I actually learned something while playing around with Substance Painter, but I won't go texturing in Substance Painter anytime soon. I went back into Blender to texture everything, but it was still complicated, so I just stuck with Unity. I used Blender to mark out all the areas that I want to be a different texture or material, so that when I go into Unity, I can just apply textures or materials to those parts. Overall, it was a good idea since I ended up changing a lot of things, so it made it easy to alter and change bits of the materials so that I get the look I wanted. I modified some textures in Photoshop and imported them in Unity so that I can add them to the materials, making the texturing process easier. And now I only had one other enemy, the so-called Picasso in me. Here is how things looked in this phase, and I still have the vegetation, but it's still looking weird, so it has to go. I added the textures to the ground. I didn't like that at all, except the buildings look great. Things weren't looking so good at this point, so I took a bit of a break. A couple of days later, I came in feeling refreshed, thinking finally I have an idea and it's all gonna work. Just that grass. Like, why did I even spend so much time working on the grass? I tried to make it work, to be honest. I tried changing the size. I tried changing the entire texture in general, but that also didn't look great. I was so indecisive, I had to scratch my entire original idea thinking it wouldn't work. I worked on it for a day or two, ended up taking a break again. I could blame me taking breaks because the whole thing wasn't working, but I'm also a bit lazy, so I wanted the breaks anyway, but we wouldn't talk about that. I came back feeling new, refreshed, thinking, okay, fine, let's make this grass thing work. I still didn't trash the grass idea. I still wanted to implement grass in the game, even though it's a themed environment. I don't know why I wanted to add grass, but then I brought in a new model for grass. And I even tried to implement different colors for different areas. I just tried to make it cohesive, and it didn't work as well. I chose to leave that because I knew I couldn't get everything right on the first try, so I chose to go on. The last phase, finally. Now here is where I had a proper idea. I added a customizable skybox so that I get a feel for the entire environment with the lighting and everything. Best decision I've ever made. So I actually got to see how things would look if I implemented proper lighting. Lighting, not lightning. If I implemented proper lighting. I added pathways using the Kama Stone things. Looks okay in my opinion, but I'm not a professional, so I can't really tell. I added a bridge which serves a purpose in progression of the game. I'm making this some sort of puzzle based type of game. I mean, I won't say anything on the clues that are found in the environment or how this all plays together to help you progress, but then all I can say is I added a cool barrier feature. I didn't just want to add a normal invisible wall to the game, so instead I added this wall that appears from nowhere. So I guess it's still invisible. Okay, look, I modeled a wall in Blender, animated it in Blender, brought it to Unity, made it a barrier, and now when you get close to the wall, it seems like it has appeared from the ground. So it's a cool way to stop the player from getting to places I don't want them to go, because I know gamers have a tendency of going places they're not supposed to go. I am one of those people. Anyways, that's the progression so far. This is how it looks, and will I ever take this long to make another part of the game ever again? No. Maybe. See, I'm still not sure, but I've learned so much, so I hope not.
Happy has a hippo.